Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast Special Edition Series where I go over every team's off-season preview and predictions. This is going to be the 14th of 32 shows, and this is going to be the Indianapolis Colts. Again, we do free agents to be, team needs, franchise tag candidate, trade candidate, release candidate, extension candidate, best draft fit, free agent fit, and a bold prediction for every team, and a lot more. And again, this is the Indianapolis Colts' episode. Okay, so notable free agents to be: Michael Pittman Jr., Isaiah McKenzie, Gardner Minshew, Zach Moss, Grover Stewart, Julian Blackmon, Kenny Moore, Rigoberto Sanchez. So not that many free agents to be on the roster. Team needs: wide receiver, defensive tackle, guard, safety, and corner. All right, so franchise tag candidate, Michael Pittman Jr. This was an easy one. He's been on the Colts for a while now. Second round pick, sometimes isn't really healthy. But he is certainly a candidate to get the franchise tag. I do not see them placing it on Grover Stewart or Julian Blackmon. It just makes the most sense to put it on Michael Pittman. Trade candidates: Sam Ehlinger, backup quarterback. I could just see somebody trading like a 7th round pick for Sam Ehlinger. You could have talked me into Mo Alley Cox or even Kylan Granson, one of the tight ends on the Colts, but again, Mo Alley Cox, or not Mo Alley Cox, like I said, I think could be a trade candidate, but Sam Ehlinger, yet another backup quarterback I have as a trade candidate. Release candidate, Ryan Kelly. Ryan Kelly's been on the Colts for a long time. He's been their longtime starting center. He is 30 years old. He got paid in 2020 for 50. So this is going to be his last year of his deal. So I could see them cutting him and move on. But I also could see him being, if he plays well this season, a franchise tag candidate for 2025. I think DeForest Buckner's another sneaky, he might get cut candidate on this team, but I just don't see them doing that because of the draft capital they gave up for him when they did it. I don't see it being Quentin Nelson. He's a rock on that offensive line. But yeah, those are the only ones that jump out to me as I go, that player might get cut. Maybe Matt Gay, the kicker. That's the other one I could see being cut. Or maybe Samson Ubcam or Zaire Franklin, maybe. But yeah, my pick for most likely to get cut on this team is Ryan Kelly, the center. Extension candidate, Kwity Paye. First round pick from 2021. He is somebody that is a big part of their pass rush. 8 sacks this past season, 2 forced fumbles, so he was actually pretty good. And he was good in 22 as well, and his rookie year. He's gotten better every year. And I could see them paying Kwity Paye. That'd be funny. He gets paid. That's just a fun. Maybe Will Fry's the right guard, but I just don't see that. But yeah, to me, that player's going to get extended candidate is Kwity Paye. I don't see it being Adeo Adangimbo. Maybe Pittman if they franchise tag him and then extend them. So that's something to watch as well. All right. Best draft fit. Kool-Aid McKinstry. They need some upgrades in their secondary. Kool-Aid is a good player. I had him mocked to the Colts in the first mock. And Terrion Arnold, his former teammate, is also a decent fit there, as well as Cooper DeJean. If you look at receivers, Keon Coleman, out of Florida State, maybe a Donnie Mitchell out of Texas, Troy Franklin, maybe one of those awesome guys drops, like Rome Odunze, who I had going there in my second mock, which would have been outstanding. Nate Wiggins could be a fit with Indy as well. In terms of potential second-round guys, TJ Tampa, Tyler Nubin, Jalen Polk out of Washington, Xavier Legette out of South Carolina, Javion Cohen, the guard out of Miami, Brandon Rice out of USC, Caden Bullock out of USC, Xavier Worthy out of Texas, Cameron Kitchen, the safety out of Miami, Chris Jenkins out of Michigan. He could come in and replace Grover Stewart. And even Byron Murphy's a good fit, or even the guy I think would just fit the Texans super well. The kid out of Illinois that I think the Texans may draft. He would be an excellent fit on Indy as well. Jerza Newton. There we go. That's his name. All right. Free agent fit. Kendall Fuller. Again, another corner. Obviously started with Washington, got traded to Kansas City, signed with Washington as a free agent. Now he's a free agent again. He is still pretty young, if I'm not mistaken. On Bleacher Report's top 150, he was 15th. He was awesome this past season. 49 receptions allowed, 2 picks, 65 solo tackles. He was good in 22. He was really good in 21. So that would just be a really good free agent fit. He's only 29 years old. So that's a really interesting free agent fit for the Colts. Leonard Williams would also fit. Hollywood Brown, Bryce Huff, DJ Reader, Kyle Duggar, Cameron Cool. Ironically enough, Calvin Ridley. Kevin Dotson would be a good fit from the Rams. Chidobe Awuzie, Robert Hunt, if the Dolphins were to go that route and let him walk. Daniil Hunter, maybe, if the Vikes don't franchise tag him. Kevin Zeitler would be a good fit. Steven Nelson, I think, would be an excellent fit. Say if the Colts were to cut Ryan Kelly, Connor Williams would be an outstanding fit. Jonathan Grenard of the Texans, I feel like, would be a decent fit if they, as an Indy, got rid of Samson Ubakam. And they could use an upgrade at that position as well. So that's another one. All right, so bold prediction for the Indianapolis Colts. It's funny that I have Kendall Fuller as a good fit. I think they're going to sign the other Washington, or soon-to-be former Washington Commander defensive back, Carmen Cool, 4 for 60. I like the fit. Good safety. I just think he's fallen under the radar. They haven't needed the position. Washington might franchise tag Fuller instead of Curl. So Curl makes sense to the Colts and was awesome last season. He took a step back this past season, though. And 2021, he was okay, too. So Cameron Curl I have going to Indy, 4-year deal, and then he's going to get another free agent deal again when he's 28. So I think he's going to land a 4-year deal, and I think the Colts are going to be the team that signs Cameron Curl. All right, some potential futures with Indy. Comeback Player of the Year, Anthony Richardson comes to mind. But there's an obvious winner for that, and that's probably going to be Joe Burrow. I mean, people are going to talk themselves into Aaron Rodgers or Daniel Jones or like one of these long shots because everyone, their mother, thought DeMar Hamlin was going to win it, but ended up being Joe Flacco. So Anthony Richardson, Comeback Player of the Year, I think has to be mentioned. Jonathan Taylor, Offensive Player of the Year, now that the drama with him and the Colts is in the past. And he was awesome this past year. I could see him being in play for Offensive Player of the Year. That would be like maybe 20-something to 1. And I wonder what Richardson for comeback would be. Probably like 40 to 1. He would be one of the longer shots on the board. Shane Steichen will probably be up there for Coach of the Year again. He'll probably be like 18 to 1 or something like that. We talked about potential AFC South odds on the Texans show. I think the Colts are going to be in that like 4 to 1 range to win the division. If it's anything over 5 to 1, I'd take a chance. I think plus 430 sounds right for Indy, plus 425, something in that ballpark. Win total, I feel like it's good. It has all the makings of being 8 or 8.5. I feel like it's going to be 8. Because the Colts feel like a team that might go 8-9, and that division's going to be better. You think the Jaguars are going to be better, although they might lose some guys. The Texans are going to be better year 2 with Stroud. The Titans are going to be awful, as we know. So maybe the Colts win total is going to be 8.5, based on the Titans being a potential front runner for worst team in the league. So I do think that Indy's win total is going to be 8 or 8.5. I don't know what direction I would lean yet. But they're another team that could be the 2023 Giants. Really good coach. They got a lot out of the team. And then the second year, the team takes a big step back. But the difference is that they have their quarterback coming back from injury rather than Gardner Minshew, who, in theory, if he were to be their starter again, take a step back. There's a lot of candidates that could be the 2023 Giants. I know the Colts are one of them. The Texans are one of them. Detroit could be one of them. We're going to get to one in a couple more shows. That's another obvious one that made the playoffs last season. So there's some interesting Colts odds potential. And then say if they were to draft Kool-Aid McKinstry, I wonder what his odds for Defensive Rookie of the Year would be, because he would be getting a lot of playing time on that team. So I would look at that as well. So there you have it for the Indianapolis Colts. Next up, we're going to stick in the AFC South and do one of the more interesting teams out there this offseason. A team that's looking to bounce back from a disappointing finish to what ended up being a disappointing season, the Jacksonville Jaguars.